Good afternoon, this is Bob Iaccino coming to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago, talking FX, talking about euro currency. Price action in the euro currency was up on the day, up about 25 basis points. It wasn't the strongest of the futures. The sterling took care of that, but we'll talk about that in a second. But the euro US dollar did go with a lower low today versus where it was on Friday, but then ended up closing positive on the session and positive versus Friday's close. Not necessarily any sort of price action benefit there. When you look at the weekly, we've had two down weeks in a row, and obviously today's move didn't even make up the prior week. But in terms of the price action itself, it's a good thing. There's just a lot of overhead resistance. Looks like there's going to be some sellers of the euro, and that could potentially happen on the ECB meeting news that we have Thursday. There's an ECB meeting Thursday that the investors are waiting to see if there's any sort of clarity to what the ECB is going to do in terms of ending their quantitative easing, possibly even beginning to move up rates. That doesn't really look too promising considering the investor Syntax index that we got out of the euro last night. It's a lower level piece of economic data, but that did fall versus expectations. Actually, it came in lower than expectations. It was a positive figure. They're always positive figures, but it was expected to be around 14, came out about 12. Again, not the biggest piece of economic data, but continuing to go along with this idea that the European Union overall isn't as strong as it was. A little bit of positive news out of it. Italy seems to be doing a little bit better, and there were some positive comments out of their budget ministers. But overall, this just looks like a little bit of a recovery, a little bit of short covering from the price action weakness we saw at the end of the last week. The dollar helped as well, as it was down across most of the majors, especially the sterling. The sterling was actually up over 0.75% after their GDP came out strong. The 3-month over 3-month number came out stronger than expected. The month over month came out stronger than expected. Obviously, the annual rose as well. Now, having said all that, that's not in a direct effect to the euro, but if the sterling is doing better, that could potentially show a little bit of positive to the Brexit talks, which would be positive for the euro as well. Again, the price action itself doesn't really take the European currency out of the bear trend that it's been in. We are expecting it to kind of stabilize and wait for this ECB meeting that we've got on Thursday. This is Bob Iaccino talking euro currency futures from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago.